Today's episode I've cooked up some crazy things, so stay tuned to find out. In this episode we don't have really a main theme and I've done some all around work. So let's just start with the video. Firstly, you might notice the main menu and the health/hunger bar. They make the game look more finished and polished. When the health runs out, you die and this death screen pops up. I also made those red borders that show up when the player's health is low. There isn't any way to heal right now and the hunger bar doesn't do anything. Hold up, there is a good reason for that. I made a sheep and the original idea was to get meat from the sheep when it dies. But the sheep's AI was super laggy and led to bad performance, so I have to work on optimization. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I increased the size of the map by making it 4 times bigger. And I also optimized the wood generation system, so now I don't have to worry about my computer catching fire every time I open Unity. That's pretty good. I also added some new ores and tools to the game. They have an order how they must be obtained. First you need to get a stone pickaxe, then you can get iron, then you can get gold, and then you can get tungsten. Such a wonderful and original idea. Nobody has ever done this before, right? I also made this nice tungsten sword. For now, it's the best weapon in the game. Of course I'm avoiding visual work like plague, but there's something else that needs to be done. Songs and sound design. I booted up the greatest song making program of all time, GarageBand. Of course I knew how to make songs on the first try. But eventually I made a song that wasn't absolute garbage and slapped it onto the menu. Then I stopped sound design altogether because I can't finish anything that I started. Now we are getting to the fun part, the building system. I made a very expensive building table where you can buy 2 types of walls. Angled walls, aka roofs, and normal walls. You can place them down and let your creativity take over. This system took a very long time to make and it's not entirely finished yet. As you can probably tell, there are no floors. I also made some changes to the enemy system. Now there can only exist a certain amount of enemies, so your computer doesn't explode. And I finally added some loot for those goblins. Now when a goblin dies, it drops a coin. And if you remember that the player has health now, you might understand that these goblins are no joke. They will jump you and take your shoes. Now you might be wondering, what do I do with these coins? And there's only one answer to that. Find an explorer camp and go on a little shopping spree. That's right, I added these camps full of weird guys who can trade with you. These camps generate randomly, but there's always one camp per world. Now looking back, some of these trades are really OP. You can basically get free gold or good tools, which is probably not good if we think about the amount of tools that this game has. Yeah. It's not probably the best idea to give the player the best tools at the start, but we'll fix it later. There are a few special items that I added. These items can be only obtained from a camp, and if your world doesn't have them, it's over for you. These items are plastic junk and a shovel. If you don't have a shovel, you can't dig ground. And if you can't dig ground, you can't find plastic junk. And if you can't find plastic junk, you can't trade with the explorers. Okay, really. For now, they don't have a really important role, but I have something planned for them, and in the future they will be very, very, very important. Now you might be thinking, what is the point of coins when you can use anything else as a form of payment? If you thought that this was the only intended purpose of coins, you might be a little stupid. Not really. If you go to a camp and find a campfire, you might see this weirdo warming there. If you don't, you have either bad eyesight or the guy is at another camp. Because there is only one of these guys per map. But if you go talk to him, he offers spells for 5 coins. These spells are power-ups and they boost your stats, such as movement speed. Here are a few examples of these spells. I have a system in place that allows me to make new spells very easily. So if you have any suggestions what spells should I add to the game, drop them in the comments. And as you maybe saw, the game has no name, so drop your name ideas in the comments too. But now it's your time to like, subscribe and beat out because the video is ending. Peace.